and welcome to a new episode of the Yarnflakes Podcast. My name is Audrey. I am a knitwear designer from the southwest of France, and this is a podcast all about my fiber art creations. Hi, thank you so much for joining me for this new episode. I hope you are doing well. And yeah, I have quite a few lovely things to share with you today. I have really nice projects that I'm super excited about, and I have some announcements, which I'm gonna do right away. So as you're watching this, this is my birthday. Yay! So June 1st is, and as I do every year, you have a birthday sale running on all of my self-published patterns on Ravelry. So all of the patterns that you can buy on Ravelry, except one, which is sold by another company. But my self-published designs, which is about 80 designs now, they are 29% off with the code 29. So yes, I will put in the description below the link to Ravelry where you can check it out. Basically, it's all of my designs from the start to the more recent ones. And the sale will run until next Tuesday. So Tuesday the 8th of June at night. You have until then to use the code, and you can use it several times, so you don't have to make up your mind all in one go. But yes, if you have been looking to some of my designs and you've been wanting to get them, that was the time to do so at a more accessible price. This is the only sale that I do that spans across all of my designs, so now is the time to get your hands on the designs if you've been wanting to. I know some people wait for my birthday because they know that it's going to happen. So yeah, the code 29. And because I'm 29 and not 12, like some people seem to think. It's just sometimes I have some funny interactions with some of you. Some people come to me and yeah, they talk like one of you in particular said that she could have been my mom, and when I asked her age, she said she was 38 or 39, and so I'm like, technically yes, but plausibly not. But yeah, I know I do look very young. But yeah, I'm 29, so 29% off it is. And yeah, you can find all of the links relating to this in the description down below. So enough about this and more about my birthday design, because I have 2 new designs to present to you for this episode, which is a lot. But I'm going to start with the one that I'm wearing, which is my birthday design, and it is the Ninon cardigan, which is my dream summer wear. I wear a lot in the summer of loose, lightweight, flowy cardigan like this, because I like, I like ornamental dressing sometimes. And the thing is, when it's very hot in the summer, sometimes I feel a bit sad because like I can't stand any clothes. So I'm like with the very teeny tiny t-shirt or tank top, like very minimal thing, and it's a bit bland and sad. So I really like to have these sorts of jackets, if you will, because they're so light and airy that it doesn't keep you warm. And so I wanted to design one myself for a while with an all-over lace motif. So this is, I'm gonna take it off to show you the construction. So this is drop shoulder cardigan that you start at the back here. Basically, you cast on the stitches here at the back. You knit the batt flat in this all over lace design all the way to the bottom, which you finish with some twisted rib. Then you pick up the stitches on the shoulder and you knit the front again all the way to the bottom. Once you reach the underarm, you cast on some extra stitches here at the side that you're going to work with twisted ribbing, and you go all the way down to the bottom of the fronts that you finish with twisted rib. You did this for both of the fronts, and then you seam the sides of the cardigan here with a mattress seam. So it's a really small seam, so if you don't like seaming, don't be scared, because in the pattern I put links to tutorials that show you how to do it, and you have a slip stitch on either edge, which makes it really easy to follow, and it's a short seam here. And once you have done that, you pick up stitches around the armhole to finish the sleeves with twisted rib, and then you pick up stitches as well on the front edges to knit a very short twisted rib edge. So if I can hold it like this, I can show you the shape. So it's this type of cardigan that has a very close neck, you know. It's like a overlapping open front with like a very minimal opening at the back of the neck. So yeah, this is how it's constructed. So as you can see, it's a very, very simple construction, which makes it super easy to modify. Basically, the pattern calls for measurements every time. So the pattern tells you knit until it measures X centimeter or inches, so you can very easily make it your own. Like if you don't want such low armholes, you can totally make it like a more normal armholes. You can lengthen or shorten the body. You can do pretty much anything you want. One of my testers even did a long-sleeved version, which looked so good, and on top of it, she made it in black. And recently, I've been seeing a lot of black lace, and I'm really tempted because it looks amazing. But knitting black yarn, it's a thing. And if the sun is never going to show up here, I'm not getting enough sunlight to be able to see stitches. But yeah, so she made the armholes slightly in a more classic, because as you can see, these are very low. But you can shorten them easily. And basically what she did is that she just knitted stockinette sleeves, and it looks fantastic. So it's more of a mid-season garment then, and it looks really, really cool. So yeah, like I said, it's super easy to change. I'm showing you the back, and you can see it's here. And yeah, so this is how it looks. So this is the shape that slightly curve here, with the front that overlap and that lifts a bit. So this design is not easy to make bust adjustments in. So if you notice that usually your cardigans or sweaters, they tend to raise a bit too much at the front with your bust, you can do two things to compensate for that. The first one is get enough ease. Basically, this is a cardigan that is planned to be worn with a lot of ease. And this way you really have enough fabric here so that it sort of drapes over your body. And the second thing is to make sure you get the yarn that's super drapey. So I used a linen yarn, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. So obviously it falls very well, but you can use even animal fibers, yes, like silk blends, or you know, the baby alpaca cashmere silk yarns that you see a lot. I think this is one of the few occasions where it would work as a garment, because you need all that drape and the fact that the fronts fall nicely on you. And it's a perfect combination of having a fiber that drapes a lot, but you still have some structure because of the fake seam on the shoulder and the seams on the side. So yeah, this is the things that you can do to make sure that it falls nicely on the front. And if you are making the little twisted rim here at the edge, make sure that you bind off very loosely, and you can also skip it entirely, because you're going to have a slip stitch edge here, which still looks very cute, and it doesn't roll or anything. So if you don't want to make the twisted rib edge at the front, it's fine as well. But yeah, like I said, it's very, very easy to customize, and I am very, very happy with it. The lace is pretty simple. This is the same lace motif that is on my Orsan socks design, which is a sock design that I released last year, which are little lacy sock pairs of sock. And yeah, basically it's just simple decreases and yarn overs, and this is one repeat, so as you can see it's not so big, and basically in between each of the motifs you have a purl stitch column. So basically every time you only have like 8 to 10 stitches, and so it's very easy to follow. You can place markers to help you with the repeats. The pattern instructs you on how to do it, and yeah, you have a specific lace chart for each body part for each size, so you don't have to guess how the chart is laid out, because you have one for each step, whatever size you're making. There are also written instructions that I wrote for this, but to avoid having such a big file, the written instructions are on a separate file. So when you download the pattern, you're going to see several files, and one of them is going to be Ninon written instructions. So if you want the written instructions, you can have them on this specific file. Yeah, I really hope you like it. I do. I am so happy about how the test knit went, because I was a bit afraid that my tester would find it a bit difficult, but not at all. And I was really surprised. I had knitters that were not so comfortable with lace or chart reading or anything, and they did amazing. And as the beginning of the test was going, I was waiting for someone to tell me that they had an issue, and it didn't come. And so at some point I contacted some of my testers asking, are you okay? And they were like, yeah, this is super easy and nice and there's no problem at all. And I'm like, okay. Which was quite surprising, because whenever you write instructions on things that you're comfortable doing yourself, and maybe you've done several different ways of that technique, yeah, sometimes it's a bit difficult to know if you're actually being clear, or if you just have a specific arrangement of logic in your brain that only speaks to you. So it was very reassuring to see that my testers did well, and you can check out their projects. Like I said, a few of them did some really cool modifications, and you can also see it in an array of different yarns if you want to get some inspiration. So I used a summer yarn. I used Dererum Natura's Antigone, which is a pure linen yarn. It's a sport weight yarn. The design can be worked from fingering to sport weight, basically. It works well with any thickness between that. And yeah, this is the Violin colorway, and I really like their linen. It holds well. It's a true sport weight, so it's not too fine like a lot of linen yarns are, and it shows the lace beautifully, and it drapes really, really nicely. And they have so many beautiful colors. I bought a quantity of their gold colorway, which I love, and I will make something with it next year, perhaps. But yeah, I love this design so much. It's exactly, like I said, the type of garment that I love to wear in the summer, and I only want to knit lace summer things at the moment. So yeah, this is Ninon, which is a French name, by the way. It's a name that I really like because I find it kind of cute, and also it has non in it, which is no, and I just find it funny that in your name there would be like no. Sorry. But yeah, it's a name that I really like, so it seemed fitting to give a cardigan that I love so much a name that I like too. So yes, so this is part of the birthday sale, obviously, so it is also 29% off if you like it until next Tuesday. So yeah, I believe I've said everything, and I can move on to my next design, which is a design that you haven't seen. So it's a lot of promotional content in this episode, but yeah. A few months ago, I was contacted by a French yarn shop in Aix-en-Provence, which is a city in the south of France. And they have a yarn shop, and they contacted me along with another French indie dyer, which is La Pelote Vagabonde, which means the vagabond skein. It sounds cuter in French for some reason. But yeah, they contacted me because they organized, so the last weekend of May, they organized a little yarn event at the yarn shop in the south of France, welcoming the other dyers. So there was like a little trunk show, if you will. And they contacted me because they wanted to ask if I would collaborate with them and create a design with both their range of yarns, because the yarn shop Le Chat qui Tricote also has their own hand-dyed yarns. So the idea was to take the two hand-dyed yarns from different brands and create something with them both. And I said yes because I really liked the idea. I really like when in creative businesses and spaces, and especially in the yarn industry, when people are not in a bubble, basically, and when you celebrate and appreciate, and you can work with the different skills of different competitors, technically. So yeah, I really liked the idea, so I offered them to make a shawl because it fitted with the schedule that we had, and so we came up with this shawl, the Mireine shawl. They sent me the yarn to create this. Ta-da. So this shawl, it's Mireine. It's already available now on all of my shops, and it's an asymmetrical triangular shawl that is knitted in fingering weight, and we chose their superwash merino base because we wanted something quite basic and that would work for everyone and that everyone would be comfortable with at the yarn shop. So you start here at the tip, and this is the yarn from La Pelote Vagabonde, so the dyer that is Sel Rose de l'Himalaya, so Himalayan rose salt, like the pink salt, that everyone is like raging about because it has less sodium, I don't know, whatever. Very expensive, pretty as hell, I'd admit, salt. That is just salt, basically, but it's really pretty. And this is a beige base with like very light speckles. This dyer is very good at speckles. I really love her work with speckles, and I really like how often her speckles are quite subtle in the sense that their colors don't clash with the base color. For example, she's gonna have a pink base, but she's not gonna put like heavy turquoise blue speckles on it. It's often you have a lot of our colorways that I like that are more, you can see the speckles very well, but they're more integrated, so to say. And that is the case here. So you have the off-white base with gold and ochre and light pink speckles. So really pretty. And so this is a garter stitch with a slipped stitch motif, which is really easy to do, really pleasant. You have one edge with an I-cord here, and then you have the increasing edge here on the side, and you keep increasing until the end of the shawl. So you do this, and then we move on to the next section, which is a mix of mosaic and lace. So if you have never done mosaic, this is totally beginner friendly. The goal with this shawl was to have something that was fun to knit, so that you were engaged in, but were still easy, something that was a bit more motivating than just plain garter or stockinette, but you still don't have to keep your eyes on the chart all the time. You only had to look at the beginning of the chart, and then you just easily know what to do. And the mosaic is really, really simple. It's another one of those situations where I was unclear whether my instructions were good enough, and we managed with my testers to do it good. And most of my testers never knitted mosaic before, and they did very well. So mosaic knitting, if you're unaware, is a technique where you just knit with one color at a time. So you take one color and you go back and forth, and then you take the other color and you go back and forth. And basically you slip stitches. It's just slipped stitches. You knit some, you slip some, and as you can see on the wrong side, this is how it looks. And you just have to make sure that this is loose enough that it's staying flat. It's normal that mosaic tightens the gauge a little bit, because with the slip stitches this is what happened, but it's made on purpose. It sort of helps the drawing pop a little bit better. And yeah, since you're still increasing on the edges, it sort of works quite well. So this is a very simple mosaic, and you have in the pattern a full page explaining how to knit mosaic and how to read the chart. And then you have a very simple lace design as well, which is quite geometric. You have lines of garter here with eyelets, and these triangles, which are triangles of stockinette with a center decrease here, and then the twisted rib triangles. And again, a really fun and simple lace, because once you start to see the shape, where you have your triangles and your previous decreases, and you just know, okay, this is where I'm going with the stockinette, and it's just, yeah, it's easy to knit, and it's really pleasant and fun. And with that, we introduced the other colorway, which is the color dyed by the yarn shop owner, Le Chat qui Tricote, in her Terre de Sienne color, which is a really nice, very light caramel, which I really like. And this shawl works really well with a soft contrast, like light. You don't need a really sharp contrast. This was the idea. The idea was to have a shawl that had a lot of texture and a lot of color play interest, but still be quite subtle and elegant. It's a bit difficult to mix a ton of techniques and it not be too in your face. So this is what I wanted. I wanted something that would still be quite elegant, so to say, and discreet. And I think it works pretty well. Then you repeat here the garter stitch and slipped stitch motif in the two colors, and you finish the shawl with a bit more of mosaic and then a full-on lace edge. And you bind off in I-cord here, and yeah, this is how it ends. And I decided to have pom-poms because why not? But yeah, you can do both. In the pattern pictures, some of them are taken with the pom-poms, some of them are taken without the pom-poms, so you can sort of get a good idea of. So yeah, it's like I said, fingering weight. You need 2 skein, one of each color, 400 meter, so 437 yards, I think. Don't get the 360 meter 400 yard skeins because you will not have enough of the other color. Though it's easy to adjust. Some of my testers didn't have full skein and they just didn't make one last repeat of the lace, and it was okay. Yeah, this is the shawl, and as you can see, it makes quite a full wingspan and making a very appropriate color association here. Absolutely lovely. But yeah, you can see how deep it goes. And yeah, this is Mireine. And so like I said, it's already available on all of my shops, and it's also part of the birthday sale, obviously. So if you want to get it with the 29% off, you can as well. And yeah, this was the second of my design, and yeah, I hope you like it as much as Ninon. And yeah, I forgot to say the jumpsuit I'm wearing. Because every time I show these clothes, people ask me, so I'm just gonna say it. It's from Not Perfect Linen, which is a Etsy shop that create have hair in my eyes, that create linen clothes. It's a family from Lithuania, and yeah, they create handmade linen clothes, and they're well known. A lot of people wear their clothes, and they have a really big range of dresses, tops and pants, and jumpsuits. And I really like them because it's not highly affordable, but for a handmade pure linen garment, it's pretty affordable. Their bigger pieces are just around €100, and most of them are a bit lower. So it's, yeah, usually I expect a lot more for the type of garment that it is. So that is nice. They have a great range and a great range of color, and I really love their jumpsuits. So the thing is, I love to wear jumpsuits, but I have a hard time finding some that fit me, because I have two very different size, like I have like 2.5 or 3 size difference between my upper body and my lower body. So usually when I get a dress or a jumpsuit, it doesn't work. And their jumpsuits actually fit me very well. It's the shape of the designs that they make, they suit my body type and my style, I think. And I've seen them in a variety of different body type, and it seems to be pretty convenient for a lot of people. And most importantly, they are very accommodating with making modifications. For example, I have a dress and another jumpsuit, which I asked them to make 2 different sizes. I asked them, can you make the top in this size and the bottom in this size? And they can make it. So that is really convenient and super pleasant. And yeah, every time I show, especially the jumpsuits, I have this one and I have a black one which has short sleeves. People ask me where they're from, so I thought I'd just let you know that it's from Not Perfect Linen. And I'm all over linen today. And yeah, so that's it. And that's it for the promotional section of the podcast, whether it's about my own designs or other brands. And I'm going to move on to a project that I finished. It was a test knit that I did. I don't know what's up with me at the moment, but I just want to test knit for other people. It's a bit unreasonable because I don't have much time. But I wanted to make myself some garments for the summer, and not necessarily make my own designs, because there were, well, I don't know, because maybe it wasn't my design style, but it was my wearing style. I don't know. Complicated. Basically, I kept thinking that I wanted to make a certain garment, and right as I was thinking that, I saw on Instagram testing calls for garments that were perfectly fitting. So I test knitted this little one and another thing, which I can't show you yet, but I will. But the first one that I made is this, and I needed a bralette because, well, not this one, but I have a lot of jumpsuits or dungarees, you say, or even dresses that I can't wear. This one is okay, but some of them I can't wear without nothing underneath. And sometimes they're covering enough that I don't need a full t-shirt, but I still need something. And so I thought I could knit myself some pretty, very crop tops or bralettes to wear under them. And so I saw this test knit from Joan Ho. So she's Joan, GOAN_HO. And yeah, she's a knitwear designer she makes a lot of textured, pretty crop tops and garments, really usually cables or bubbles or lace, and I really like what she does. I think it's really cute. And she had a test call for this, which is the Layla bralette, and I don't know if it's published yet because when I'm recording this, the test knit is finished, but I don't remember if she said that she was releasing it right now, or If it's released, you will find the link in the description down below. If not, I will direct you to her designer page and Instagram, and you can find out. But yes, it's the Layla bralette. So it's a little bralette with this really beautiful lace motif, and it's really, really simple and quite funny. It's just a double yarn over with decreases on either side and a twisted stitch on the back. And I don't know, it looks really highly textured, even though it's super simple, and it's really fun. So it's just a simple bralette. So you start here with the ribbing, and then you move on to the body, which you knit in the round, and you can see you have the lace motif in the back as well. Then once you reach the height that you want, it's highly customizable. So you can make it a normal tank top if you like. You can just make this much longer to reach your waist or hip, and then just make the upper body. And it's really, really fun to do, and I'm considering making myself one longer, like a proper top as well, because I really liked it. And once you've reached the body length that you want, you bind off at the back, and you should bind off quite tightly, because if not, it's gonna flop. And yeah, I bound off. First, I bound off loosely, and then I was like, I should tighten up. So that's what I did. And then you continue with the cups separately, which you decrease until the top, and then you knit the straps in I-cord, and then you go and seam them at the back. You can cross them or you can make them straight. It's highly customizable, which I really like. And yeah, it was really, really fun to knit, like I said. And so size-wise, I made a size 2, and at first I just followed size 2, and I tried it on, and it's okay. It was sitting nicely on the bust part here. Maybe I could have had a little bit more negative ease, but it's okay, I don't mind. And however, on the ribbing, it was a bit too loose, and I have a 14 centimeter difference between my full bust and my under bust. I don't know if that's especially big of a difference, but I needed to tighten it. And so I asked the designer, and she said, okay. And she actually made a full page on the pattern on how to select your size, and it's really easy to change. Basically, you should consider your under bust measurement and make sure you have negative ease here, and you can cast on a certain amount of stitches for the ribbing and then increase for another size here. So I think if I'm going to reknit it, I might cast on size 1 and then increase to size 2 for the bust. Or I might cast on a bit less than size 1 and then go to size 1 for the bust if I want it to be tighter. But I like how it fits as is, because I can also maybe wear it with something underneath and just as an ornamental thing. I'm still dipping my toes into how to wear bralettes, so we'll see what I prefer, if I want more or less negative ease. I do plan to try on knitting other ones and see what I prefer. But yes, so I asked her if I could fix the ribbing, and she said yes. So basically I just picked up stitches here and cut off the ribbing part, and I knitted the rib with a smaller needle size, and I decreased some stitches back to size 1, and this fits me much better. So yeah, I do recommend that you go with your under bust measurement, and that is all very well explained in the pattern now. She made a full page guiding you how to choose your size, how to modify going from one size to the next, or even to the upper size if you really have a larger upper bust measurement. And yeah, it looks really cute. It's super fun to knit, and I really like it. I probably, as you're watching this, already put pictures where I'm wearing it on my Instagram and on Ravelry if you want to see how it looks worn. Not putting it here because YouTube is a bit of a freak when it comes to weirdly, you can be totally naked on YouTube if you're doing yoga. FYI. But you can't wear bras and show knitting things. I don't know. I'm not really comfortable wearing it in video, but in pictures, it sort of is okay. So if you want to see how it is when I'm wearing it, you can check it on Instagram or on Ravelry. And yeah, like I said, I don't know if it's out yet. Maybe it is. But I really, really like that lace motif. It's really fun. The yarn that I used is Sandnes Garn Duo, which is a blend of merino and cotton. I think it's 55% merino, 45% cotton, but maybe it's the other way around. I don't remember. It's a DK weight, and it's I wanted to try it for a long time, so that was the perfect occasion, and I'm okay with it. The thing is, as I was knitting it, I found it very splitty, because like a lot of cotton-based yarn, it has like 20 billion threads. It's plies, I mean. It's like very, very full of little plies. And I'm not someone that usually tend to split my yarns. The way I grab the stitches is okay. But as I was knitting it, it was a bit splitty. And especially since the ribbing is a full-on twisted rib, which means that you do knit through the back loops, but also purl through the back loops. So it's a reversible knitting. So you can imagine purling through the back loop with a splitty yarn. So it was quite splitty. But then, when I actually look at the fabric, it's so smooth. So I was quite surprised, because usually when you have a splitty yarn, it shows that it's a bit irregular and things for me. But this is super pretty in the stockinette and in the ribbing, and I don't know. I'm quite happily surprised with the result, and I do think I would like to try it again, this yarn. Maybe to make a sweater that would not be as warm in a DK weight, because it would have all the cotton. So yeah, it feels nice. It's nice. It doesn't have, well, I bought it from a French retailer. It didn't have a ton of colors available, but interesting. And I'm happy that I tried it. And yeah, this is really cute and pretty. So yeah, this is a finished project for this episode as well. And I have a work in progress to end this episode. And so, if you remember, a few months ago in March, I believe, I released the Ombrella sweater, which is full-on cabled jumper. And as I was knitting it at the end of last year, I had finished the entire body, but I had not made the sleeves, and I tried it on, and I thought it looked really cool, sleeveless. So back then I decided that I would do a sleeveless version of Ombrella. And so this is what I'm doing. And I am using yarn that was gifted to me from Les Petites Potions, which is my friend Deborah. Basically, I absolutely loved one of her colorways, and I kept gushing about it. And so she said that if I wanted some yarns dyed in that colorway, I could just ask her and she would do it. So this is her Terre Brûlée colorway. So like burnt dirt, earth, ground. I don't know. But yeah, it's this gorgeousness. So it's like burgundy, maroon, brownish red. It's gorgeous. It's on DK merino yak and silk base. So with the yak fiber that is a bit brown and grey, it really makes it so deep and nuanced. It's really, really beautiful. Excuse my messy cake. And yeah, the original Ombrella was knitted in the same base, so DK weight merino yak and silk. It's from Slavica Yarns, which is the Polish dyer, indie dyer, and it's in their Sorbus colorway. And so I thought it was sort of in the same color range, and that would be fun. So yeah, basically it's the sleeveless version of this sweater, but I'm also changing the cables. So actually, the cables in Ombrella are these ones in the front and these ones in the back. And, well, I couldn't really get around to knitting the same thing twice. I don't know what's wrong with me. But I did want to change things up. So basically what's going to happen is that the sleeveless vest version and the full-on sweater version, when both will be released, there will be promotion if you get both at the same time, basically. Not at the same time, but if you have bought or will buy both, I think one of them will be 50% off. I will make a way so that you don't have to buy both of them full price, because they're the same pattern with, I was gonna say mild modifications, but it's just little modifications. And for me, they go hand in hand. Most importantly, the cables will be interchangeable. So, as you can see, I have already done the upper body, and I'm on the body now in the round. And so this will be Marella, because Ombrella, Marella. Sometimes I need really the faintest excuse to justify a name, and it just works. But yeah, basically, these are the cables. It's the same construction, really funny to reread your pattern just 3 months after working on it, and I'm already correcting things. Not mistakes, but like certain phrasings or certain ways to say things. I constantly change, evolve, get better at things. So even in a very short span, when I reread one pattern, the pattern is good, the pattern is fine. It's one of my most recent, so most well-written pattern, but I still find things to fix in it, or to like improve, I think. But yeah, so it's the same construction, and you just have different cable panel. So on the front you have this one, which is kind of this Celtic inspired big cable at the center. I don't remember where they come from, because the one from Ombrella, they come from Nora Gone's cable source book. You know, she has a stitch dictionary with cables, and it's really well known, and it has a lot of cables. And they come from this, I think, and I slightly modified it. And I think these do too. But I don't exactly remember, because I drew the chart for this when I was designing Ombrella. So like I said, once I tried on Ombrella, I knew I wanted the sleeveless version, so I instantly made the cables. So I'm not sure where they come from, but I think it's from Nora Gone's as well. Cable stitch dictionary. But this is like a very classic cable that you see a lot. It's like a Celtic inspired, really twisty things. And you have a regular cable here, and then you have these sort of big medallion type cable, and I added twisted stitches here on these sides because I like twisted stitches. So this will be the front, and this will be the back, which is mostly the big round cables. So yeah, these are the Ombrella cables are not complicated, but these are even easier because you only have one big cable here, which is a 12 stitch cable, and it's only once per repeat. And on the front, it's just 4 stitch cables, so it's really simple. And so yeah, like I said, you can take these cables, put them on the sweater, or you can take these cable from the sweater and put them on the vest. So yeah, you will be able to mix and match however you like. And so on the sweater, you have a cable on the sleeve as well. And if you want, you can keep that cable because it's sort of, it fits. I think it looks close enough. I mean, they're sort of in the same spirit, you see. Or it doesn't match perfectly, but you can sort of somehow put this one on the sleeves as well, if you want. But the main part is that you will be able to change the body cables easily. You will just follow the instructions from one design and just use the cable from the other. So that's why I want to have a promotion on both patterns, so that if you do want to do this, you don't have to buy the 2 patterns at the full price. One of them will be 50% off, I think. I kind of changed my schedule. First, initially this was planned for like late autumn, early winter, but I changed things. And I think this will come out in August, so that it's ready for the autumn, if you start knitting it then. And so yeah, this is Marella, and I just really like the merino yak silk bases, especially the DK ones, because even if it's very drapey, very drapey, and a bit droopy, the DK versions, they're so round and plump that it's sort of still is a bit structured, and I just love the cable definition. Even though the color is so dark and you can still see those cables pop. That's because the yarn is so round. So yeah, Marella is what I'm working on at the moment. I am going to finish the neckline, I think. I was a bit hesitant. I want to make a split hem at the bottom, but I didn't quite know how to finish the sleeves. At first I thought I would make a folded rib on the cuff, but the thing is, I really like to have a bit of ease at my underarm. Yeah, right. I don't like really fitted upper body garments. I really don't. And so I thought, if I have a double folded DK weight rib on around my arm, it's gonna bother me. So I think I'm just gonna make a simple rib and see how the shape goes. And yeah, I went to make these quite quickly so I can have a vision and possibly call for testers soon. But yes, this is Marella. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's everything. Did I forget? I feel like I forgot something, but no. Yeah, that's everything I have to share with you today. Thank you so much for watching the episode. I'm going to finish with the little announcement for remind you the little announcement for my birthday sale. So again, it's 29% off all of my self-published designs on Ravelry. You can find all the info and the links in the description down below. So yeah, if you want to check it out, it's again until next Tuesday. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I wish you a very, very good start of June. Yeah, I hope I'm gonna get a summer eventually here. But yeah, take care, and I will see you next time. Bye!